Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Noobs R Us GT3 Rookie Series Season 8, Race 4 at Oulton Park. I'm your host, Jeremy Cubbage. Right now on track, we've got approximately 25 drivers, a lot of newcomers, wild cards, etc. So we will see some extra new faces. We're going to see some... we got Land Cloud with us. We're going to see some drivers that we've seen before, of course. Drivers to watch. Right now, I think we're going to have to watch Sean Bramer. We're going to have to watch Glenn Jacobs. Glenn was putting down some pretty good times. We'll have to see what happens as we go. Right now, the drivers are out on track, and they've started their hot laps for qualifying. There is 17 minutes left in qualifying. Nobody's done a lap yet. Let me get some extra information on screen for you guys so that you can see that. We need... the personal bests, and then their delta needs to stay on there so you can see that. I want you guys to be able to see that information on the screen as we go. It is a sunset race, it looks like. Might be sunrise. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know which way is which here. I think north is that way, so it's got... Yep, it's one of those. So with that said... we're going to get the sun in our eyes for this race, unfortunately. It looks like we do have a couple of drivers coming around for their last bits of their hot lap. I think DW Wells will be leading this hot lap. He does have... Who is that right behind him? I can't click on the name. There it goes, 997 RL Brown. 2 WRT drivers. Drew Freiberger's getting out on track now. Looks like he's able to get people taken care of, which is good. Looks like Wells and Brown are going to be racing to the start-finish line. Wells puts down a heater of a lap, 38.467, and then gets overtaken by Brown immediately, 36.672. Garrett Glorp, a new driver on track, 36.887 right in the middle of those two drivers. Drivers are still crossing that start-finish line now on invalid laps, it looks like, or just starting their hot lap. Don't quite know yet. Only 3 drivers have done a valid lap so far. There we go. Getting some more drivers on there. That Chief guy in third now, 37.942. Jeremy Hayes with a massively quick lap, 36.615. Get your valid lap in? Good. I'm assuming Drew got everybody taken care of for the night then, yeah. Okay. Other drivers starting to put down some laps. Looks like Gavin Cambry taking that 4th place position, 37.450. Mike Cook in the group as well, 37.612. A lot of WRT drivers on track tonight. A lot of them. Okay. Garrett Glorp is already up 1 second on his fastest lap. That's going to put him in the 35s.
Bam, 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 bam.
We got Tony Danzig in the chat with us. Hello, Tony. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Just putting in a 10-hour workday, coming home to watch some racing.
Yeah, that's
with
how
the
I am.
Noobs R Us.
That's how I've been this whole last week. Tony, happy to have you here. Let me know when you're set up and in the game and you're ready to rumble.
Oh, bro, I was born ready.
Born ready? While he is being born ready, we're going to take a look at the track info for today. Once again, we're at Oulton Park at Little Budworth. Tarperley, I think is the right way to say that. We're going to have to ask ask Will Figgins in chat in the UK. Tarperley, yeah. It's a weird one. Roughly 4.3 kilometers or 2.7 miles. There's 17 turns on track. Elevation change is 43 meters or 141 feet. It's fairly open. I mean, it goes up and down all over the place. The biggest drop, the most steep drop, I believe, is between turn 16 and 17. So we're going to see maybe some slipping and sliding through there. See some close racing, says Crypto's in chat. The last AM winner on this track was Dean Stefani a couple seasons ago in the Ferrari 296. He did not do a 208.937. Matter of fact, I don't know what time he did do because I didn't put the correct one in there. So we'll have to quickly take a look at SimGrid to find that out. With that said, Nico Menendez, whenever I looked, he did a 132.572 in the Porsche 992. So I quickly want to pull up the last AM winner and see what time it was, because for some reason I completely screwed that up.
Way to go, Jeremy. Way to go.
I know, man. I'm just the worst. All right,
I love Oulton Park.
Taking a look at Oulton Park's results from the last time we raced here. He definitely did a 133.895. Now, we have obviously changed some of our information in the way we go about racing. So 133.895, I would say we're probably closer to 136s. We may see into the 35s and 34s. We're already seeing into the 35s. Get back onto the track.
Oops, I think I joined the wrong server. I joined the
pro server. Yes, these are just our AM drivers on track. We've got 25 of them. Like we said, we got some newcomers, and some of them are wild cards. So R.L. Brown has put down a massively quick lap, 35.522, putting him on that podium position, with Mike Cook right behind, 35.535, and Jeremy Hayes in P3, 35.565. So these drivers are very close in pace. It's awesome to see that. But that said, Brown is still up another half a second. It could put him close to the 34s. There it goes, 0.6 seconds. You're seeing that on the left side of the screen there. Let's see if he's able to make any improvement. He's coming through the final corners now. Going to be hard for these drivers to see that final corner because they're right into the sun there. So I believe this is a morning race. Up a whole second on his time, or nearly 34.620 for Mr. Brown. That was really quick. Brown has been making some awesome improvements recently, and we love to see it. Tony, did you get in the correct server this time?
Yes.
Okay.
Back in the action, baby.
I would like to hand off some of this talking to you if you're willing to do that. I know you did work for 10 hours, but I want you to talk more. So.
Yeah, I just always like to not talk when you're talking because I always love your voice, and I think you do such a good job and you provide a lot of feedback that the folks actually like. So I just like to let you go, and it's easy to just let you ramble.
Well, I'm good at rambling. That's kind of what I do for a job. But yeah, I would like to hand it off to you and have you kind of lead it a little bit. I'll try and catch the drivers that you're looking at a little bit more and see if we can't give you the lead on chat for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you do me a kindly? Would you stream your screen in Discord?
Sure, absolutely. And I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at too, because I can stream this entire window.
That way I can kind of follow along and don't have to watch the stream to see.
It might not be nearly as pretty. You need more Tony in your life, says Andrew.
We all need more Tony in our lives. All right, we're taking a look here at the circuit. We were watching Chanley. He just went off the track there, slowed down before the wall. Maybe he did touch the wall. No, nah.
I don't think he did. I think he just drove off, yeah.
Returning to the pits here. Probably going to head back out. We still have 9 minutes, 56 seconds left on the clock for qualifying today. Ryan Brown putting down the steamer of a lap. No one else touching the 34s yet.
Actually, it's R.L. Brown. I think his name is Raphael or something crazy like that. So it's pretty cool.
That's interesting. You don't run into a lot of Raphaels anywhere.
We'll take a look at Sean Bramer really quick. He's up a half a second on his time coming through the final corners. See how he does.
Back over here. There we go.
Sean Bramer into the braking zone for the final corner. Still up a half a second. All the way to the apex. Looks like he missed it just a little bit, but he's still gaining some time. Up over the final hill.
Gaining a little bit. Still half a second. I love Oulton Park. Oulton Park is one of my favorites out there. I didn't really like it. And then I kind of dipped my toes into the iRacing world. And I was forced to drive the track. And being forced to drive it with multiple different cars, I would just learn the line so much better. And it's now one of my favorite tracks. And I'm sure these drivers out there are enjoying it today, too. We're doing a lot of British tracks. Oh, wait, no, that's in the GT4 series. We're doing a lot of British tracks.
Yeah.
We had Oulton Park in there as well.
Taking a look at Isan Gok. He's up 0.3 nearly. It looks like he's losing a little bit of it, but he was on a heater of a lap. If you guys see on the left side of the screen, if somebody's name is highlighted in purple, that means they are currently putting down the fastest lap. So you can see R.L. Brown is now being highlighted because he's beating his previous fastest lap. So you guys see that. Their name highlights every once in a while. That's what that means.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day. Look at that.
It doesn't do
Mr.
that
Ben
with the default,
Jaded.
though.
Trying to hook up here. 0.7. That'll move him up a couple spots.
Ben Jaded's in the mix, though. He's got a lot of cars around him.
Yeah, he does. Following that GTR right there. Good old Godzilla.
Can you see the livery?
No, I cannot.
Okay, I was going to say, because I haven't been able to see it. So Ben has actually
Well,
lost quite a bit of time here. And
you know what? Let me see if I can see it. I was watching your stream.
yeah, you should watch yours and then put mine off to the side. So you can see if I've caught up or whatnot. Incognito
No, we're on
Godzilla.
Yeah, it's incognito.
Last 7 minutes
Neato.
of qualifying. Drew Freiberger's up 0.2 on his time. Drew, one of our esteemed series admins, event administrators. Thank you, Drew, for being here, doing what you do, making sure our events run smooth. We got a first-time
As smooth as
chat
possible,
from
at least.
Cool Story Bro in chat. Hello.
Cool story, bro.
Drew's still up 0.2 on his time, coming through the final corner now. Down the hill, gaining some extra time there. He didn't even use all the track for it, so he definitely still has some room to improve, I'm sure. There he goes, moves up a position into 6th.
Plenty of time to improve.
Yep.
What do we got? We got 8 minutes left. 6 minutes, 30 seconds. That's good for about 2 to
1,
2, 3, 4 laps.
quite a few, yeah. Part of the track
Kind of
finds
hunker down.
team to support. Who's track finds? Am I missing something? What team is that? So another thing for you, Tony, on your ACC TV, the time that you're looking for, that delta time, is not on the left. That separation between cars, which is next to their position. It's in the middle, next to their current time. That's how you can tell if drivers are up or down on their time there.
I see that there. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Drew's up 0.3 again. If he's able to hold that, he could potentially move up into, it looks like P2 or 3 almost. You got to really hold it up 0.6. Yeah, he could move up into a podium position if Drew's able to hold this time. He goes over Clay Hill now. Into the braking zone of Druids.
Looks like a beautiful day out there today at 12 degrees Celsius. Don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, so I'm just assuming it's a nice day.
Track Fiends, a local Phoenix team. One of our racers is in here somewhere.
Phoenix?
Phoenix! It's Pahonix. Brown was able to put down another fastest lap, 34.507. Yeah, Mr. Tony is also from the Phoenix area, Pahonix area.
Good old Pahonix. Looks like Gok is working his way up to the fastest lap right now.
He is. He has been for the last couple of laps. He ends up losing it in that second or third sector. And there was a car off track he had to avoid, or rather sideways on track. Oh, man, you know Isan's got to be shaking his head. Chris Cap's up 0.7 on his time. I keep going to him, and then every once in a while I end up switching off of him, but definitely making an improvement. 0.7 improvement could move him up into the top 10 easily. Right now in 14th.
Gok mentioned he got his P8 recently. I'm sure he's happy with that.
PB recently. Personal best.
Oh, PB.
Not a
Yeah,
not
a
a
lot better than
P8.
P8.
Yeah, he's in P2 right now.
Some
Chris
people are happy
Cap's-
with P8.
Chris Caps did cross the start-finish line with a personal best of a 36.127, so he is in 10th place overall now. Caitlin Puppy, a newcomer to our community, into the hairpin corner of shells, oils corner, whatever you want to call that, turn 5.
I like this little chicane right here, moving into turn 7 and turn 8. Got to get it just right, but if you get it right, you can freaking soar through there. Let your wings out and just Catching a little bit of that curb coming around the corner. It's going to slow them down just a little bit. But
up and over the hill they go.
Still up on time just slightly.
Yep, 1/10 is good enough to move up a position. He's just got to hold that and move up a little bit more. It looks like they're losing their time through the 4th straight. Into Lodge's corner now. Lodge corner, rather. Gaining some time.
That's a tough corner to get right. You got to brake.
Very hard.
I like to brake right at the sign, right maybe before the sign. Stay on the left-hand side, coast your way through, and then just get back on that gas.
Glenn Jacobs up 4/10 on his time.
You go, Glenn Coco.
So, as most of us know, racing, sim racing, all of that is mostly dominant male. So if I say he and you're a she, I'm sorry. Okay, putting that out there. It's an accident.
I wasn't sure, so I wasn't sure, so I was keeping it neutral. That's why I was going with they and them.
I have no clue.
Can't go wrong.
I mean, you can. Glenn was able to improve a little bit. 36.065 is up in 11th now. Sean Bramer trying to fight and pull away from him time-wise. Got 1 minute, 50 seconds left of qualifying, so he has another lap, maybe 2 to do it. So we'll have to see what happens.
He ain't giving up yet. It's nice to see Sean in a different car other than the BMW. I know last season for the rookies race, there was a lot of BMWs on track. And I'm glad to see some of the drivers switch around cars to try to get a different feel for something else.
Cool story, bro. Thank you for the follow. And yeah, feel free to sign up. You can just do !SimGrid, get all that information. You won't be able to join tonight's races, obviously, but you can join us next week as a wild card. What is this music we're listening to? This just sounds like child music. There we go. That was so weird. Phil Dixon, 4/10 up on their time. What is this? Then we got piano music. Okay. This royalty-free stuff is getting on my nerves. Awesome. Great to have you. Misfit Gaming, thank you for the follow as well. Can't wait to have you back out on track.
Thank you for the follow.
Phil is up 7/10 on his time. Coming through the final corner, 6/10, losing a little bit of time on this last little straight. Moves from 5th up into 2nd place. Phil Dixon into 2nd. He could probably do another lap. Nope, he's pulling off to the side there. He's got to get out of the way, though. There's people trying people trying to do laps still. With that said, no real improvements anywhere else other than Mr. Brown. Once again, highlighted in purple. It looks like Glenn Jacobs might be improving, too. We're kind of back and forth between some drivers here, so. Bro, just put on Eminem. No, it won't be fine, because then during the VOD, nobody will be able to hear anything that was said.
I did royalty-free one time, and I think it pulled up Creed, and we were listening to Creed.
But I don't think you did royalty-free. You ended up
I did royalty-free.
You ended up pulling up. Nah, you didn't. You said you did, but you didn't. I don't think so.
I'm sticking by my guns.
No real improvements anywhere other than Brown, once again, up 1/10 on his time as he goes through Britain's, which is turn 8, 9, and 10, just so you know.
Is Andrew Casey not racing tonight? You're not racing tonight, Andrew.
He's in Boston.
Boston?
Yep. Glenn Jacobs jumping over some curbs as he goes into turn 11, half a second up. Half a second improvement could put him into P8. Potentially, so you have a good middleman. We can play royalty free. It's a good friend of yours. We got some other music that could probably be that way as well. We just try to keep it all in one place, not have to go searching for royalty free. We just throw on what Spotify has to offer.
Oh, I missed my.
Mine's up 7/10. Hang on just a second. This could put him in the top 5
cue.
From 13th. All the way up into 6th place for Glenn Jacobs.
Let's go, Glenn.
I'm talking about.
I love watching Glenn race.
Glenn has made some massive improvements. It looks like all drivers have completed And we are getting
I'm
ready
always
to
impressed.
start the session. Let me get this set up properly so you don't see all that extra information on screen.
Good job to our amateurs out there for qualifying. We'd like to see what you guys, we like to see the battles. We got a lot of drivers here on track, 26 of them. Should be, hey, it's called Deer League. Should be a good race tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I always like watching the rookies races.
I do as well. Tony, would you like to open up the grid walk and practice using that? And I'll just follow along with you whenever you're ready.
Okay, it would help if I started on the right car, right?
You just hit open, and it should just go to first car. We're going to take a moment, guys. Thank you for your patience. Tony is in training with his new application.
Tony in training. Oh, that's right. It was down towards the bottom. I forgot.
Yep.
Open. Here we go. We're going to start with your grid walk today. Out in first place in the BMW, number 997, R.L. Brown. Then we're going to have our buddy joining him, Phil Dixon. They're in second place. Ishan Gok in third place, followed by our Jeremy Hayes, number 28 in that McLaren, looking like the Toy Story car. In fifth place, we have Garrett Lorp coming in the 189 Lamborghini. Glenn Jacobs pulling out that ridiculously fast lap at the end, making him in second or sixth place tonight. You go, Glenn. Caitlin Puppy in seventh place. Our Mr. Drew Freiberger is going to be sitting there in eighth place tonight, looking for a good race on his end, followed by Mike Cook in the WRT car as well. Our number 10 is Mr. Gavin Cambre. Hope I said that right. Followed by, in the Ferrari, Ben Jaded, number 254. Followed by another WRT driver, Sean Bramer, at number 220 in the 12th position. Guy I recently that I spoke to recently, pretty friendly guy, that Chief guy. They're pulling up the 13th spot, followed by our Chris Capps in 14th in that banana yellow BMW. Mr. Aaron Black is coming in 15th place in another Lamborghini on track today. He's going to be followed by a Ryan Chanley in 16th place. Pulling up 17th, Ryan Brooks, a Canadian here. 18th place, we have Katie.
Mr. AI. KDI. I don't know, man. This was a hard one.
Mr. AI. The next one's easy. 19th place, CW Wells. Followed by in 20th place, Lan Cloud. Number 413 in that Audi. You don't see a lot of Audis on track. 21st position, we have Nicholas Woods. In 22nd place, we have Excel Caraballo. Followed by Robin Lore. And 23 spot, then that BMW. And our 24th spot, we have Red D. Guzman in the 24th spot, followed by John Evans, number 25. Our 26th spot is going to be taken by Mr. Rob Warren, and that's going to be bringing up the end of your field. I do like the livery on this Porsche here. That's going to be your drivers today out here on track. Let's see, close that out. Oh, that works
With
so
that
well.
said, they're going out on track. I'm going to run an ad really quick to get it out of the way. We may, you know what? I'm going to wait. I don't want to miss the start of the race. I'm going to wait. We will have an ad mid-race, unfortunately. It's just the way it's going to be.
That's just the way the cookie's going to crumble today, Jeremy.
It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, man. But overall, good job. Yeah, that was a good grid walk.
Not a bad grid walk, but I think it would be beneficial if I learned everybody's name correctly.
Hey, there's a whole bunch of new names too, so it's hard to get them all right. Am I right? Am I left? Am I right? With that said, the drivers are going to just be single file for a little bit here, warming up their tires and brakes and all of that good stuff. As they approach the third sector of the track, they will go side by side. But for now, we're just going to have the calm before the storm. I'm going to go ahead and change this information on screen for you guys so that you can see the race gaps. And everything else will be kind of, just randomized there.
I'd like to take this moment that if you are interested in, or talking about, if you're interested in joining a community, learning some new things, trying to be a better driver, we highly encourage you to come check out Noobs Are Us. Come check out our Discord. Come meet some of the folks. We have plenty of mentors. We have plenty of people out there willing to give a hand to just help you become a better driver, to learn the rules of the racetrack, to say. Even if you're a fast boy and you've already driven before and you're just looking for a good community to come hang out with and do some races, Noobs R Us is the place to be. I think I'm going on year 2 now, and I haven't left. I love everybody in the community. I find myself spending more time with them than I do my actual friends.
That's how it is for me too, though. With that said, the drivers are in the nose arc formation side by side. They're rounding this final corner now. R.L. Brown, Isan Gok, and Phil Dixon are your top 3 drivers. And they will be leading the start of this race. Look how far back Isan is there. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's supposed to be, or maybe Brown is too far ahead.
We'll see if anybody gets a drive through here.
We are green at Oulton. Looks like R.L. Brown's going to hold that P1 Phil Dixon right behind. Are we going to see any crashing in turn 1? It looks like we're okay. Some slipping and sliding there in the back, it looks like. Some drivers off track, but no death in turn 1 so far.
Oh, someone just went off track.
Yep. Looks like there's Drew Freiberger off track. Like he was able to rejoin fairly safely. I'm going to watch
that pack of cars screaming
all
down
of these cars coming down the back of the grid there. We're moving back towards the leader as he makes his way through turn 5, that hairpin turn.
So I think I got my answer. I'm looking at the AC game itself, and it looks like Mr. Brown has a drive-through already. So he might have been out of position when the race started.
Yeah, see, that's something that I cannot see, unfortunately. I did ask about it. I have not received a response. Maybe it's something they can add in for us, but yeah, not quite sure that anything the pros all died. I'm not going to make that bet with you, Andrew. With that said, we are mostly single file. It looks like everybody's gotten through fairly clean for the most part. So some drivers trying to put some pressure on each other. The front 10 drivers are kind of, ooh, I say that too soon. Glenn Jacobs side by side with Gavin Cambry. Looks like Gavin was able to get around him. More slipping and sliding as the drivers go through Druids. This first lap is always just wild. There's cars all over the place all the time. So Aaron Black.
I just realized Glenn Jacobs is running an NRU livery.
Yep, he decided he was going to run the NRU livery today.
Mr. Brown going into the pits to serve his drive-through. That's got to hurt.
Yeah, going from P1 to drive-through immediately. So looks like Phil Dixon is going to be leading us. Garrett Thorpe is in P2 and putting some pressure on Phil. See him right behind, moving to the inside. Looks like he's got a great run. They're going to be side by side. Nope. Garrett backs out. The safe thing to do for turn 4 at Island Bend. You end up in a wall if you don't do it right.
Touch that grass, and that'll be the last thing that you see is that wall.
I did not mean to click that far. Oh my goodness, I switched to that chief guy, and he is going into... Just wait, dude. Just wait. Oh, he joined. I don't know if we're going to see more death. Woo! He was trying to rejoin on the inside of the hairpin. Ooh, that was a moment. I'm gonna have to change pants. Mine are brown now. Chris Capps putting some pressure on Nicholas Woods right on his tail as they go into his laps. Turn 10. Like he's lost a little bit of time to him. Drew Freiberger, after his incident, looks like he's putting some pressure on Aaron Black. Catching up pretty well as they go through Druids. Ooh, they're both off track. Looks like they focused on that other car off track. I don't know who that was. Glenn Jacobs, it looks like, in the Noobs R Us car.
Glenn's line.
You can't hyper-focus on your teammates, your competitors. We got another driver off track further back.
In the background there.
Yep.
Mr. Woods.
Looks like he was able to rejoin fairly safely. We haven't seen any major bonks, so that's a good thing. Just a couple of off tracks so far. This track is known for literally killing people, so hopefully we don't see any virtual deaths today. Brown getting back out on track at 22nd. ahead of a couple of drivers. Sean Bramer in the pits, John Evans in the pits. Not quite sure what happened.
Brown's got a lot of ground to cover to get back up there today.
He does have 26 more minutes to do it, though.
Yeah, keep your head down, and anything's possible.
Got a,
so many times I've wanted to give up towards the end of the race, and a driver has a mishap, and then boom.
Ooh, we got a battle for first right now. Phil Dixon and Garrett Thorpe. Looks like Garrett was able to get around into that P1 as they go into turn 10. He's going to start running away. Phil doesn't want to battle with Isan behind. So Phil is going to try and stay right on Garrett Thorpe's tail and try and get back around him. It looks like a four-way battle, potentially, for P1. Move further back with this new driver who we can't pronounce their name. Kide is what I'm going to call him, because I don't know. I have no idea. Putting some pressure on Chris Capps.
Cade.
Cade? I mean, it might be. Mike Cook slow for some reason. Looks like he may have had an off track. Newest fastest lap was Garrett Thorpe with a 36 flat. Obviously not the fastest he can do. Just taken over by Jeremy Hayes with a 35. And then taken over by Drew Freiberger with a 35.6. So these drivers are battling for fastest laps as well. Ooh, we got a yellow flag with Nicholas Woods with severe damage. Oh my goodness. I want to see what happened. Let's back this up. Got another driver, looks like. Oh, more bonks.
Oh no.
I'm gonna see what happened here. Hang on. Let's watch this replay. Looks like they were getting ready to go through the final corner. Nicholas was on the outside, moves to the inside, goes off track.
Off track into the.
And then rejoins across the track. That's an unsafe rejoin. Hits a driver, hits another driver. That was extremely.
That was CWLs he collected there at the first.
Oh, I don't think any of that was intentional, but it happened, you know. If you look on the left side of the screen, you will see, just to answer your question, Andrew, next to P number 8, Drew Freiberger has that timer. That means he has the fastest lap currently. Hold your brakes. Jeremy Hayes sending it to the inside. Doesn't quite get alongside enough for Isan, so he's not going to get that podium position right away. Got another battle, three-way battle, four-way battle for P11, it looks like, with Aaron Black leading this battle. Chris Capps second in the line with Ryan Chanley, putting some pressure on him. What are we going to see? Ryan Chanley possibly going to poke his nose in, going to be defensive.
Mr. Lort putting on the fastest lap at a 1:35.1, almost through those 34s.
Yep, like I said, we might see a 34. 35.1 is difficult to do, especially for an AM. So, have to see how this goes. This is just a five-way battle for P11 right now. Looks like actually P11 might be starting to run away. Aaron Black, see right there in that Lamborghini.
Oh no, Mr. Floud just spun out there in the background.
Yep. Looks like it was just a spin out. No, nobody else touched, which is good. He's going to rejoin on the off the racing line rather, so it'll be a fairly safe rejoin. He should continue to get going. Lost a lot of positions though because of that, or rather a couple of positions. He just lost his battle for P11 though.
There's a lot of time on this small track, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to move back up to P3 because it looks like Isan, Garrett Thorpe has ran away from Phil Dixon. May see him catch up eventually, but Isan is trying to catch up to Phil. Potentially fight for that P2. We're not actually streaming in Spanish tonight, so you guys can ignore that. Nico Menendez is out tonight. Isan right on Phil's tail as they come through the final corners now. Through turn 17, he's moving to that inside. You can see how defensive Phil is, just immediately going to that inside line for turn 1. He is so defensive that is going to cause him to lose it. There it goes. He had to brake super early. Isan's able to get the overtake done on the outside. Now Isan's got to keep his head down and gain 2 more seconds on Garrett to fight for P1. Moving back in the pack towards Drew and Ben Jaded as well. Drew Freiberger.
There we go.
I think he's gaining some ground on Ben.
A little bit.
Going into turn 4, Island Bend.
Not the easiest track to get overtakes done on. You got to plan them out right, but it's a good track to get into the other drivers' heads. I like this track. I don't know how many times I got to say it, but
I agree with you. Andrew says he never understood the crazy move to the defensive line. So putting myself in the AM's shoes, they believe that going all the way to the inside is the way to be defensive, not knowing that that causes them to have to brake super, super early or just completely miss. Ooh, potential slide here. Hang on. Okay, we're good. Not knowing that that's going to cause them to miss their braking point and shoot through or brake super early. All they've got to do is move to the center of the track and then see which way that other driver commits to. If they commit to the inside, they're going to be suboptimal. You can move back to the racing line. If they commit to the outside, then all you got to do is stay in the middle of the track and leave them enough space to be alongside you. And then you are now in the better line. Side-by-side action with Phil Dixon and Jeremy Hayes.
I was just about to say they're battling. Jeremy just took the position a little bit from a couple corners ago.
You saw Phil just then make that same mistake, though, that he made with Isan, really far to the inside for turn one. Sorry, I keep stepping on you, Tony. I want you to take over, but I keep talking.
You're fine. Like I said, I like it when you're on stream, when I'm on stream with you. You do a lot of talking. It makes it easy for me, you know?
I'm not going to be around on those Saturdays, though.
Oh, I know, but those Saturdays I'll be full of morning energy versus now, you know, working the long day. And
like Drew was able to get around Ben Jaded prior to turn 4. Ben Jaded now has Gavin Cambry behind as they're battling towards turn 6 and then into turn 7 of Britain's. Right on his tail. Let's get a nice, pretty view of that BMW. You see how defensive Ben is being here. Just enough to try and put Gavin off from potentially overtaking. A little bit of slipping from that BMW behind as well.
Look at that shine.
That sheen, if you will. Oh, that was the wrong car. I didn't mean to click that one. I meant to click this one. It looks like he was actually able to pull away pretty well there. Ben Jaded was, so. We got Excel Caraballo, like you said earlier, that I can't pronounce either, battling with Red de Guzman. Caraballo. Isan Gok has put down the fastest lap, sub 35s, first one, with a 34.977. So Isan is working his way back up.
Trying to do his best to get up there.
Yep, we might see a potential
good
overtake.
battle right here.
Ooh, you can see how far to the outside he had to go there with Red de Guzman ahead. Up and over the hills they go.
A tricky one. It's a fast corner, so you just got to get it. You got to tap the brakes just right. Let the car send over and just floor it.
Looks like Excel was able to get a better exit, but not enough to go for an overtake opportunity here into turn 1. He is closing up that gap in nearly every braking zone. So we may see, there we go, a little bit of side-by-side action. This is a dangerous place to go for the overtake is into turn 2. There it is. That's what I was saying.
No.
Wow, he was able to stop so short of that wall. That was so lucky. My goodness. Rejoining, hopefully carefully for the most part. The battle is now off there. We just saw Drew Freiberger. Well, we didn't see it, but Drew Freiberger just overtook Glenn Jacobs. We got a yellow flag with Red de Guzman.
Oh, no!
And an intentional crash, it looked like, almost. That was wild. Hopefully, hopefully it wasn't intentional. It just looked like it. He could have just came off the line there.
I think he was just off the line in the grass and couldn't get.
Yeah, that was just me switching over, and it looked like it could have been, but it probably wasn't. It's not tolerated at Noobs R Us, so it's unlikely that's what we saw. Hide off track. It looks like this is kind of back and forth. I believe he's on a controller. Just looking at Hide looks like he's on a controller.
Oh yeah. You can tell by those jerky movements.
Yep. Either that or he's got high ping, and I don't know which one it is. With that said, we're at about the halfway point for race 1. I'm going to quickly run a 2-minute advertisement because we're going to be interrupted if I don't. So let's get that out of the way, and we'll be right back. Oh, my goodness gracious. This has been quite a race so far.
They're out there battling. They're trying to do their best to get the positions.
They are. This is a good point here to... Oh, I say that. Looks like Ryan Chandler's right on Aaron Black's tail here. I was going to say, we might have had a good moment to do the ad, but everybody was kind of falling off. But Ryan Chandler's caught up pretty quickly to Aaron Black. Got R.L. Brown right behind. R.L. Brown has gained a lot of positions back after that first drive-through he had to do. So he's back mid-pack. Going to the inside of Ryan Chandler, bonking, banging, and then going wide. We got I believe that is Sean Bramer in the mix. Unfortunate back marker. I don't know what happened with him. It looked like he started from the pits, so that was wild. What a send, says Andrew. I don't disagree.
What a send.
What a save. Now I want to just play Rocket League. Andrew over here. With that said, Mr. Brown does have a lot of ground to try to gain and get back up there. He's quite a ways off from Ryan Chandler ahead. Into the braking zone, he's able to gain some of that ground back. Where's Jake? Well, I actually just talked to him the other day. He's 10 months out from being done with the military, so. Yeah, most of the battles have kind of fallen off right now, which is a good thing to see during an advertisement. Last 15 seconds of it, hopefully we get some more battling here shortly. Nope, he is not. Not with 10 months left. Brown is caught right up to Chandler. Looks like he's slipping and sliding a little bit on the way out of turn 5. Into Britain's now. Going
Into
wide.
Britain?
Hey, you be nice. The advertisement has completed. We're back at it again. Ooh, side-by-side action potentially with Aaron Black and Ryan Chandler. Ryan Chandler having to back off a little bit in through that chicane. Hopefully,
just ever so slightly, yeah.
Up the hill they go. Ooh, up and over the hill. They're side-by-side over Clay Hill. Looks like Chandler's going to back out as they go into Druids. Into the braking zone.
Oh,
Brown sends
no!
it. Causing a 3-wide crash. Crossing across the track now. Trying to just get going again. Oh my goodness. That was not a send. I wonder if he just missed his braking point. Because that just, I didn't even look like a send. That looked like a braking point miss all around. Woo. All right, Brown, you need to tuck your head down and just get through this race, because next race you're starting P1 again. With that said, those battles have unfortunately fallen apart. Phil Dixon is trying to gain some ground on Gavin Cambry into Britain's. Up and over Clay Hill they go. Or rather, Hilltop. I'm incorrect on that.
Way to go, Jeremy. Way to be incorrect.
Hey, man, I'm incorrect on a lot of things.
Way to lie to our viewers.
And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's nothing, okay?
I'm good at everything.
I know you're good at everything. Thanks for telling me. Through Water Tower. Into the braking zone of Druids. Woo! Gavin going wide through there. That might be good for Phil. He might be able to catch up a little bit. Into the braking zone. The final corners, you can see Phil slipping and sliding around everywhere from those heavy braking he had to do into those T1s 2 or 3 laps ago. He's definitely got some severe tire wear, it seems. But that Porsche likes to slide anyways. It's definitely a kill you kind of car.
It looks so good, though.
It does look good. I'm going to be honest. I think Oulton Park in ACC has the best camera angles for both TV1 and TV2. Well, we were watching Snetterton yesterday, or on Sunday, and it has the absolute worst camera angles I've ever seen on either camera. But I feel like Oulton is just super cinematic.
Yeah, these are pretty nice camera angles.
Ryan
Big
Chanley
thanks
catching.
to the
Go ahead.
big thanks to the crew out there working those cameras out for us. You know, on the race day, we like having the additional help. And
Hi, Blackout 2040 says I had an electrical failure. I don't know who you are, but was that Mr. Black? Is that who that is? That we saw earlier? Yeah, Aaron Black. That sucks. We saw some bonks going on too. We didn't know what it was. Oh, Sean Bramer in the grass for just a moment there. We got Kanye in chat. Nico Canyo.
Nico Canyo.
Yep. Phil Dixon is the guy to watch right now. Isan, even though he's had the best lap so far. Ooh, Jeremy Hayes, yellow flag. What's going on here? P3 has a yellow flag.
Oh, no.
He's in P4 now.
Action?
I don't know if that was a back marker or not. It looks like it. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, it was John Evans. Yeah. Jeremy Hayes lost a position because of that. Now 5 seconds off of Caitlin Puppy in P3. Caitlin's going to provisionally get that podium.
Let's go, Caitlin.
Yeah, you can rejoin. You're just going to be in the pits and down a couple laps. That's fine. Just be careful getting back out there.
Yeah, rejoin. You got another race to go.
Yeah, and then another race after that. Absolutely. So in 10 minutes, race 2 starts. You don't have to qualify again, so you're good. Ryan Chanley is once again right behind Kide. That's what I'm going to call him because I don't know how to say his name otherwise. Oh, RMP, it's all right. We can get you set up for next week. So after tonight's race, if you want to jump in one of the voice channels, somebody will help you out. With that said, Ryan Chanley's trying to keep that pressure on Kide. Ooh, Garrett Thorpe has just done a 34.325. He's definitely putting down some intermediate times and not some AM times if you're in the 34s consistently like that.
Out there flying, yep.
Yeah, Ryan Chanley has that damage to the front end of his car. It's Arl Brown now 1 second behind him, but it looks like Sean Bramer in the mix too. So Brown has to get around Sean Bramer in that purple Ferrari before he can do anything. Trying to catch up to Kide. RMP, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. And we're happy to have you as part of the community. I'm sorry we weren't able to get you into tonight's race. But like I said, next week we'll get you in. If you've only just signed up, CW Wells in a wall. I think he was alone for this. If you only just signed up today, then you're going to be wild card anyways, so your points won't affect anybody else that's been racing for the whole time. Phil Dixon, what happened here? Gavin Cambry had an incident. What happened? My camera. Oh my goodness! He's still trying to recover. All right, let's see what actually happened here, guys. I'm going to back it up and see. Let's see this incident. Looks like they're coming towards turn 4. He was alone here.
While we're watching this replay, Gawk had an off track.
Really wide. We'll watch Isan's in just a moment. Yeah, so it looks like Gavin just went really wide sideways and didn't hit anything.
Saved it. Nice.
Yeah, that was a good save. It ends up sideways on the hairpin there. All right, let's see what happened with Isan now, huh? Car number 3. He was coming over Hilltop into turn. I don't know what this is. His laps is it turn 10 and 11? And then 12, and it just bounces, ends up sideways. Luckily, he didn't hit a wall either. But Isan's still holding that P2, though, so good to know.
Caitlin's coming up 2 seconds behind.
May see
for that second spot.
Yep, might see a battle for that Kide and Arl Brown. Arl Brown was able to get around him.
Still have 7 minutes left on the clock.
Yeah, 7 minutes is a lot of time, especially on a track this short. We're doing 130s. So you got a long time to go still, it feels like. Robin Laurie, yellow flag. Ooh, this is a dangerous place to be yellow flagged. I don't know what's going on here. Looks like he was just giving up that track position to Caitlin Puppy so that didn't impede.
Brown's still in that battle with Chanley trying to catch up.
You're right.
He's making a little bit of mistakes here and there.
We just saw a lot of sends from Brown. It looks like he's definitely angry for being where he's at because of his drive-through. So you can see him trying to make up too much ground too quickly, which causes more incidents and ends up putting him further back on the grid. So into the braking zone of turn 5, right on Chanley's tail now. Through turn 6, into the braking zone of turn 7. He's going to go off track to avoid from hitting him. Like I said, he's just getting overzealous, it seems, and it ends up causing him to lose positions. Now he's got 2 drivers behind trying to get around.
He did make a little contact with Chanley in that back corner over there.
Ben Jaded in the mix here with Sean Bramer holding him off. Sean Bramer is actually, like I said, he's a back marker, so Ben needs to get around him in order to start battling Kide for P12. Like you said, you think he has to be a controller. I kind of want to do an onboard. Let's just do a quick onboard with him just to see.
Oh,
yep,
yeah.
He's a controller. 100%.
1000%. Either that or his wheels busted.
No, I know his wheel's not busted. We have people that drive controllers all the time. Now, you got to start somewhere. And if controller's where you start, and if it's with noobs or us, so be it. That's fine.
Yep.
He's not doing bad for being on a controller. He's in 12th place, so awesome. Quicker than you'd be with one. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Phil Dixon's catching up to Mike Cook, it looks like. Going a little bit wide through turn 11. Into turn 12 of Knickerbrook. That's a weird one to say. Off track, going a little bit wide. He's going to lose that time. Brown is caught up to Chanley. Once again, hopefully he doesn't.
He was side by side in the last little roundabout carousel area, but he backed off a little bit because he didn't have the corner.
This looks like a little bit safer of a lap here. You can see Chanley being extremely defensive. Brown's going to go to the outside to get that better turn in. They're bonking, and they're spinning.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
No.
Woo!
And Sean into the wall.
This is one of the most dangerous racetracks in the Rookie Series just because of how narrow it is. I don't think we even race Brands Hatch anymore because of how narrow it is. But I think we had to leave this one. So with that said, all of that happened. Brown is in P10. Kind of gotten away with it. Kide is right behind, 1 second in trail with Ben Jaded on his tail. I do like Ben Jaded's livery. I don't even know if it's a default livery, but it's nice.
Yeah, I do like it too. Kind of looks like a duck.
You don't look like a duck.
Almost.
You look like a duck. Red to Guzman, yellow flag. Nope. I don't know what happened there. Anyways, Ben Jaded is catching up to Kide ahead.
I just realized I'm going to call him Cade. Has their windshield wipers on?
Well, maybe he accidentally hit a wrong combination of buttons. Looks like a duck. Ben Jaded is falling off just a little bit here. Into Britain's. Lipping and sliding. A little bit of commentator's curse. Every time I end up watching somebody, they end up falling off of the person they're chasing down. You couldn't say Knickerbrook in South Louisiana. He ain't lying about that one. Oh. Nico Canyo gifting 5 Tier 1 subs to the community. What'd you do that for? What'd you do that for, Nick? Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nico Canyo.
Hey, I'll take one. I think it was just a random thing. That's awesome, though. Thank you, Nico Canyo. We love you.
We love you.
Now you guys get to not see ads when we have to run them. And you can use these little things that we got, too. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of perks for being a sub other than not being impeded by advertisements. So,
got a minute 25 left on the.
Oh my goodness! All alone. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying we got a little under 2 minutes here left in our race time, If drivers are planning on making any moves, now is when you want to see it happen.
Yeah, but you want to see it safely happen, not just be thrown into a corner happen. Ooh, got a yellow flag from a driver that I can't see because of the camera angle. Thank you, camera angle. I saw Caraballo.
Thank you, camera angle.
That chief guy. Oh, got a yellow flag with Ryan Chanley and that chief guy. I switched to it just in time to see the extent of it. It looked like there was a potential. Ooh, another one. Yellow flags everywhere. Ryan Chanley's returned to the pits. Chris Capps trying to get back on track. Be calm with your throttle. He spun all the way around. There he goes. He's continuing on. With that said, guys, I think P1 it's safe to say that Garrett will probably hold that, being 18 seconds ahead of Isan. Isan is 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds of Caitlin Puppy. You can see Caitlin Puppy coming over the hill in that Porsche. You should see it right. Nope, you missed it. Okay, we'll just click on it. Watch. I made this livery yesterday for Caitlin, so got it all set up. Yep. It was pretty cool. And Mike Cook should be in fourth. Let's go back to our P1 driver as he's coming through the final corner now. Your winner for race
Lamborghini on top
is Garrett Thorpe. P2 getting ready to cross the final corners, not even the start-finish line. Return the GoPro. Why everyone dying? It's the last lap. Everybody's sending it. Everybody. Tony told him to. Isan crossing in P2. Caitlin Puppy right behind in P3. P4 is going to be Mike Cook. Jeremy Hayes will take P5. And right behind Phil Dixon, there was a potential battle for if they had one more lap. Phil Dixon would be battling for 5th. Drew Freiberger right behind in 7th. P8.
Good job, Drew.
Coming through the final corners now. Gavin Cambry. And then a driver we didn't see a whole lot of battling with, Glenn Jacobs. Just a little bit early on bonking, and that was pretty much it. After that, looks like he hot lapped on the race 1. Hopefully he gets a better race 2. Glenn Jacobs will be crossing in P10, or P9 rather.
P9, yeah.
Carl
Mr. Brown working his way up from 22nd. Lots of bonks on track tonight, but is going to finish in 10th place.
Yep. It looks like the biggest gainer of positions was probably Cade. 7 positions up for where he qualified. The biggest loser was R.L. Brown with 9 positions lost. With that said, we're going to go ahead and move over to the pro race.
The pros.
And watch the pros do their second race. Much prettier than last night. People learn from their mistakes on the mock race. I think the mock race is the best thing that we could have done. So the pros look like they're finishing up their race. So we'll let them finish up their race. While they do that, I'll get some music going. We'll throw an advertisement on and get that out of the way.
Get it out of the way.
We'll get that all out of the way. Nerd says Nico Canyo, who doesn't race with us anymore. Guys, we have something, bro race. We have something coming up. An announcement coming up in Noobs R Us within the week. I hope within the week. Hopefully by Thursday at the latest. But, ooh, we got a hype chest, you guys. I've never had one of these before. What do we do? We got a choo-choo button. Choo-choo train. With all of that said, we will have something coming up by the end of the week, hopefully. A hype train, dude. We've never hit this ever in our entire lives. Railroader. Choo-choo. So, hopefully you guys stick around and you can hear what that's going to be all about. With that said, let me get reconnected with my ACC TV. We will get the information back on screen for you guys. And we'll get ready for the grid walk. Let me open that up. Tony Danzig.
Hey, that's me.
I'll let you run grid walk once again. Let me just get us all set up over here really quick. All right, I'm ready whenever you are, sir.
I was born ready in this beautiful Rockstar Energy Bentley Continental. Looks like we have Mr. Lane Yates pulling up P1. Followed by closely, second place, Adam Turag.
Turai.
Turai. Sorry, I always mess up his name. Third place, someone I'm battling in the GT4s, Carl Banning in that BMW number 987. Followed by Mr. Shane Subi Dodger in fourth place in that America Lamborghini. Mr. William Figgins in that beautiful GTR and the Noobs R Us livery in fifth place, followed by James Casaboon in sixth place in the Ford.
We can see James' livery this time. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, nice. That's all right. Pulling up seventh place, we have JJ Burr in that Ferrari, followed by closely a Joe Allison there in eighth place. Ninth place is going to our brother from another mother, Mr. Jake Willems, followed by Casey Swansinger, just rounding out your 10th place spot. Surprised to see him a little bit further back here, Mr. Russell Harrell in 11th place. Looks like he's going to have some battling to do today. Patrick Ramos is going to pull up 12th spot here in that BMW number 38. He's followed by Mr. Alan Mackey in the 159 McLaren. 14th spot is going to Nicholas Dwyer in another GTR on track. 15th is Mason Moffitt in the Mercedes. 16th place is Aguedo Martinez. 17th place, Mr. Shadow Governor, Brazilian out on track. Followed by a Wes Jones, Chase Jones' father.
And Chase needs to fix his livery still, Chase. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, fix it, Chase. 19th place is going to be Michael Cortez in the McLaren Noobs R Us livery. Mr. Eric Metcalf in the WRT livery, pulling up the 20th spot. Devin Anthony looked like he might have struggled out there a little bit today in 21st spot in the only Honda on track. Followed by our boy Simon Tonkin in the WRT livery Mercedes. Rounding out the 23rd spot, the end of the pack, we got Mr. Mark Miller. I'm glad to see Mark on track today. We don't get enough of him.
We love Mark.
That's going to round out your drivers today out here on track. They're going to get ready to start their outlap. And it'll be single file.
It will be single file for about 2 to 2.5 minutes. We don't have any more advertisements, so right now is your chance in chat to ask as many questions as you can. Any question that you want for me or Tony to answer. If you want me to answer it, you type Jeremy and then the question. And if you want Tony, you type Tony, then the question. We got 2 minutes. Go on, let's do it. Questions.
I give good life advice.
Yep, let's go. Right now. Bro acted like he wouldn't be right next to Mark if he was racing. Andrew doesn't like Oulton. Tony, how do I look as good as you? He says.
You know, honestly, I don't know. I just wake up every morning and I just stream excellence. You know what I'm saying? It comes natural in me. I don't know how to tell you how to look as good as I do. Although Andrew, you are a handsome fella. I think you're on par with that smile that you do. You're big, tall, dark, and handsome. Don't sell yourself short.
Big, tall, dark, and mansome.
Mansome.
The only question in chat. That was good. Like Beyonce woke up like this. I woke up in the morning feeling like, what? I can't say that one.
Uh-oh.
You can't say that one, everybody.
Heard the pros had a bit of an oh no, wait, that was just Andrew guessing if they had a bit of an interesting start.
He just said that they probably did. Jeremy, what is the most important aspect to racing? The most important aspect to racing is putting that pedal to the metal and then shaking and baking. Because if you don't do either of those two things, you're not going to be racing. Bonking back markers? No, that is not true. Tony, how many Diddy parties have you been to? No, we are not answering that question. That's the end of it.
I'm legally not allowed to say. There's a current investigation underway.
Oh, no. Less than 17. No, they were all older than 18. All right. Anyways, music is off. The drivers are coming around the final couple corners. I was somehow more than 20. God dang. Use guys. My lawyer said not to comment. All right, that's enough of that, guys. Drivers are going side by side in the Noah's Ark formation, coming through straight 4, aka the final straight, aka nobody has a name for it, so that's just what they called it.
AKA Watkins Glen.
These drivers are lined up a little bit more properly. Hopefully nobody's way out of position here. Lane Yates will be leading the pack. I don't know if Lane is actually going to be fighting for podium. We'll have to see.
Why? Because he's in a Bentley?
No, I don't know. I think he might be a wild card is what I mean.
Oh. Green, green, green.
We're green. Potential 3 wide situation going on with that GTR in the back of Will Figgins. Looks good so far. A little bit of dirt being kicked up. Carl Banning's got a little bit of a bonk side by side with Adam Turai. Lane Yates. Adam's able to take that position.
Oh, we have
and run
3
away.
drivers off track.
Yep, multiple drivers. Carl Banning, James Casaboon, JJ Burr all in the back now. Let's move
Looks like
back.
we had a little bit of an incident.
I want to watch these drivers as they come through this corner. Back up to the front here, or at least close to it. Russell Harrell and Joe Allenson side by side through turn 5.
On the outside, that's a tough spot to be too wide.
And he did
Especially
a good job, though.
Corner. What are they going to do? Who's braking first? Oh, and he's taking
Joe
the
says, I'm
alternate
going
route.
through. That's not a bad thing to do. And he gave up time, so he's probably not going to be penalized for it. There could have been death there. Luckily, there wasn't. Andrew says, oh, God, I can't watch. There was a potential bonk there with Nicholas Dwyer. Actually, Nicholas Dwyer's falling back there. Alan Mackey and Shadow Governor and Joe Allenson kind of got into it there. Moving all the way up to the front, guys. Lane Yates and Adam Turai starting to run away here. I think Adam is using my livery right now, just so you guys know. No, he's using 88's. David Alicea's livery. So even though it says 88 on the side of his car, he's car number 6. Lane Yates keeping that pressure on Adam through turn 1.
I don't know if it's the color of that car, but that Bentley looks menacing.
Yeah, it does look. Lane's able to get around Adam through turn 2. They're in turn 3 now. Is Adam going to be able to respond to that? Through the Lakeside Straight, does not look like it. Ooh, Adam's going off track.
Alternate route.
Yep, and hits the wall.
Into the wall.
It's going to have some pretty good damage there. He's going to lose a lot of positions. Moving back to another battle we got going on between Devin Anthony and Eric Metcalf. Looks like they're closing up. Got a whole line of cars. I think the battle right now. Ooh, look, Alan Mackey and Mike Cortez side by side. This is a battle for P12 right now, with 6 cars. So
Devin getting the run.
He's got the runs. I hope not.
Devin, no! Mom, pass through.
James Casaboon in chat saying this track is so small. Not the only thing about James that's small, but we're not going to talk about that on stream. Moving up to Russell Harrell. He's putting some pressure on Casey Swanseeger. Russell's already moved up how many positions? He's moved up 5 positions. All of these drivers, P4, 5, 6, and 7, have all moved up 5. 8, 9, and 10 have moved up 7 positions. So all those bonks have caused these drivers to really move up. Russell moving to the inside, turn 1. Casey just going extremely wide there. Was giving him the space, but he never. Russell never took it. Tucked in. Casey Swanseeger is going to have a gold stripe, by the way, next time. We got an onboard request with Russell Harrell, so we'll get that on the next lap. Actually, you know what? We're only through turn 3. We can get it right now. Onboard with Russell Harrell as he goes through Island Bend. Into the braking zone for turn 5. Going really wide on the way in.
Gonna try to cut it like a V.
Losing a little bit of time to Casey Swanseeger ahead into the braking zone of Britton's. Want to get it on
Martinez spun out.
We'll have to come back and see that Martinez spin out here shortly. He's losing quite a bit of time to Casey ahead. Braking hard and heavy into turn 10. Casey making a mistake ahead is going to allow Russell to catch back up. Ooh, we saw a car spinning off track. I believe that was Jake Willems. Up and over the hill. Into Water Tower. And then Druids. This corner right here, you just want to be the first one on the throttle. If you can be the first one on the throttle, you have a great run towards that final corner. Russell's going to look to the inside, but not going to actually go for the overtake attempt. Just trying to throw Casey off and get him slipping and sliding.
Gotta start playing those mind games.
Yep, definitely. See, same thing. He's going to move to that side just to try and get Casey to go wide. This is called straight 1, by the way, the avenue. All right, back down the hill through turn 2 and 3. Russell's able to gain a little bit of ground, but not enough to go for an overtake on Casey Swanseeger that lap. So we saw, what did we see? A bonk with Martinez? Is that who you said?
I think he just ran wide, went off track into the grass.
So we don't need to back that one up. A Krill issue? With that said, ooh, Eric Metcalf in it off as well. Eric did gain some ground early on in the race. Ends up losing. Oh my God, what a rejoin! Ends up hitting Wes Jones, rather. I don't think that was intentional by any means. It just ended up being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Wes Jones is able to run away more or less there. Devin Anthony has moved up quite a few positions. 9 positions from where he qualified, is now in P12.
Yeah, he's at the back of the pack starting today, which you don't typically see Devin, but it's nice to see that he's out there still battling for making up spots right now.
Devin has recently switched to using left foot braking, and like we've talked about before, with his disability, is definitely difficult for him, and it's evident as how he's been positioning. So I wonder if he's still just trying to get used to that or not.
I am glad that he's finally left foot braking though, because he was only slowing himself down using the 1 foot, but it, you can only do so much.
Ooh. You can see how defensive Alan Mackey was being Devin there for just a moment as they went through turn 1. Alan Mackey. See if we can't get tail view of him with Devin right on his tail. Ooh, Mackey's able to get a good exit through turn 3 and run away here.
He's flying.
Into Island Court. Oh, it looks like Devin was sliding.
Devin.
Oh, camera! Camera! Thank you. Devin slipping and sliding. Now backwards in the grass. Hey, Honda does make lawnmowers, just so you guys know. We don't even need to say that he invented it. They actually make them. Patrick Ramos, side by side with Mason Moffitt, keeping them very narrow. Russell was, rather. That was the wrong driver. Ends up tapping him. Russell spun backwards. Mason or Patrick's trying to spin back. We've got tires. Oh my goodness gracious! Another car off track. Joe Allenson is who that was. So,
a lot of slipping and sliding.
The fastest time on track right now is Lane Yates with a 33.517. So, a second faster, more or less, than the fastest AM time. With that said,
just a little over.
All of these drivers are more comfortable with themselves and their competitors around them, and that's why you're seeing more bonks like this, as they're trying to do things that they believe are possible to do, and they are. It just ends up sometimes not being the right way to do it.
Oh no!
What? Who? Where?
I just watched Mackey run into. He rear-ended somebody. They were able to get away, but Mackey's going to lose some positions.
Mackey's got severe damage to the front end of his car. He's got a lot of time to go, or a lot of ground to gain to get back to where he was.
It was Shadow Governor. That's who he hit.
Oh. Carl Banning put some pressure on Patrick Ramos into turn 5. Carl's going to follow him fairly wide here, tuck in narrow on the way out, though, giving him a better exit. He slips a little bit on that outside curb into the braking zone for Britons. Ooh, you can see that first BMW there of Ramos going really narrow in there. That's going to allow Carl to get to that inside line and then move all the way to that racing line. Patrick's going to act like he's going to go for the overtake. It's not going to happen. And Carl will hold that field.
Ramos has got a couple slippery times back in that corner, unfortunately. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Jeremy.
No, you didn't cut me off at all. I finished what I was saying, and you was doing the talkings.
Doing the talkings.
With that said, the closest battle right now is between Mike Cortez and Joe Allenson. You can see that split there. Kind of falling off Joe Allenson now to Shadow Governor. Ooh, Simon Tonkin gaining on Mackey. Mackey does have that damage, though. But it looks like Simon may just try and get an overtake done here shortly.
Let's go, Simon.
Simon keeping that pressure on. Not going to need to keep it on for very long. Like I said, Allen does have pretty severe damage. Simon going off. Oh, I thought he was going off the track. He was able to recover that and stay on the asphalt. Down the hill through turn 3. Mackey going really wide in the grass there. Going to allow Simon to get around for the most part. Into turn 4 they go. He needs to hit his brakes fairly heavy here to stay on the inside there. Simon's got the overtake done. Mackey losing another position.
Good job, Simon. Now just hang on to it.
He'll do it. We know that. The battles have started to fall off a little bit. This is where the consistency comes in. Drivers just need to be more consistent than their competitor. If they're able to do that, they can just gain a little bit of ground here and there. Allenson is 0.8 seconds off of Shadow Governor ahead. Gaining some ground up the hill into Druids. Go ahead, Tony.
Just to say, seeing how some of the racing is going, just stay consistent. Someone might just go off track in easy position right there.
Yep. These drivers are pushing themselves to their limits. So that's why you see a lot of self-induced bonks. It's not something we want to see, but that's what happens. So it's a narrow track and grass on either side. So as soon as you dip
oh, Simon!
What happened with Simon? I missed it.
He drove straight into the wall.
Well, he's alive.
No, he's alive, but he drove straight into the wall.
Carl Banning, pressure on Mike Cortez as they go towards turn 4. I don't know if you guys heard the same battery low that I just heard. I'm going to plug my headset in so I don't get interrupted for the next 18 minutes. Sorry about that. We should be good to go and continue on. Carl Banning keeping that pressure on Mike Cortez into Britton's. See if he can get that better exit. He might. Mike Cortez is also trying to catch up to Joe Allenson ahead, so he doesn't really want to battle Carl too much. The more he battles Carl, the less time he's going to be able to try and get around Joe Allenson ahead. So, oh my goodness, he spun himself around. Carl Banning's going to be able to capitalize on that and just run away. Wes Jones has a yellow flag as well, rejoining over Hilltop. Ooh, had some silliness going on.
Stay consistent.
That's all you got to do.
We make it sound so easy. That's all you got to do.
That is all you got to do. How do you think I get podiums in seasons? That's it.
In seasons.
James Cosaboon still being salty in chat. Will Fickens with a yellow flag. Leaving that P2. Will Figgins has severe damage to the front end of his car, now in P5. Going to try and just continue on, I'm sure. That is definitely going to screw with him. Anyways, moving up.
Under 10 seconds of repairs, you're typically good to go. Once it breaks that 10 limit mark, or if your car, if your steering wheel gets janked to the side or something, then you'd want to come in for.
You said 10 seconds of repairs or 10 minutes of repairs?
10 seconds.
Oh, I usually, if it's under 40 seconds, I'm good to go. But that's because I'm a slow driver, and slow driving is what I do anyways, so it doesn't really mess me up all that much. We're seeing some Hawkins up 9 positions from where he qualified, so he definitely still has, he's off track, but still in a good place to be. Had a lot of drivers disconnect, it looks like. We only got 20 left.
Joe Allison still trying to make a move on Shadow Governor, hanging out there. Just biding his time is what he's doing.
He's got 15 minutes. You're halfway through the race. Like I said, stay consistent. You'll end up getting around one of these drivers.
Yep.
You just want them to make a mistake so you can get in there. Excited for the
I can't tell
next
you
2
how many
weeks.
times I'm driving when I see someone come up on somebody. I'm like, ooh, just crash. Have an incident. Come on.
Hey, Laguna Seca is absolutely one of my favorite tracks. Suzuka as well, and I love to race them. But unfortunately we just don't drive Laguna a lot. I feel like it's one of our least driven tracks.
I think that's fair to say. Oh
Well,
no, Simon Tonkin just getting a drive-through for track limits.
Joe Allenson keeping that pressure on Shadow Governor. I was worried that we were going to smack our face into the rear bumper of Shadow Governor there.
Behind him too.
Maybe we'll change that camera angle because I felt like I was going to hit my head. You can see that Shadow Governor went a little bit wide there in that Porsche. That's going to allow this Aston of Joe Allenson to get side by side, more or less get the overtake done. Carl Banning trying to capitalize as well. Not quite able to do it. He is still side by side with Shadow Governor there for just a moment. Allenson's going to run away. The battle is now between Carl and Shadow. Little light tap. That was a good sequence of overtakes for those two drivers.
Yeah, it was. Now they just got to hold the position.
Unfortunately, that's going to make James more angry because there was some actual racing. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, James. James, I'm kidding.
Oh, Joe Allison just picks up a drive-through for track limits. So that position he just gained, he's going to lose.
And more. That's gonna put him down probably in 15th or greater.
Yep.
If I were Carl, I would just try and bide my time at this point and not even try to battle. And if you do, try and get the overtake done quickly, so that Allenson doesn't hold you up, because he's going to be out of your way, and you don't want to end up falling off to Shadow Governor behind. We could put those drive-thrus on screen for you, Andrew. The only way to do that is going all the way back to the default stuff. What's it called? Overlays. You're going to lose a little bit more information, but that's it.
That's why you got me here. I'm here to tell you all the good news.
When Tony does his streaming, you will see the penalties. We will have live stewards for those events too. So, nope, Race Labs didn't do it. Streamlabs is just OBS in disguise. Race Labs did not do it. No.
Carl Banning still pushing here, hoping to get closer to Joe Allison.
Doesn't need to worry about it too much, though.
Still have to come. Yeah, he still does have to come in for that drive-through. I think he's got this lap and next lap to get it completed.
This is all dumb and just like Nick. Shadow Governor trying to get that position back after losing 2 positions. He's impatient, wants to try and get around Joe Allenson into the pit, so there's that free position back. But he does want to still get back around Carl Banning for sure. Flipping and sliding out of turn 1, losing quite a bit of time there. I want to point out a driver we don't normally see up in the podium during our Rookie Series races. Ready for this? AC Swanseeger in P3. And I'm not saying that he's not competent and quick enough to be there. He just usually ends up getting into some sort of incident. With that said, he hasn't and has been able to run away. Carl Banning's got an incident. What's going on here? Camera! No!
Oh, yeah, my camera's doing the same thing.
I'm going to back it up. I want to see what actually happened. It looks like he was alone. Well, I mean, he had Shadow Governor behind, if that's who that was. Yeah. Goes into turn 5 or 4 there. Just goes off. Yep.
Oh, and he goes hard into the wall.
With that said, I want to move up to the battle here. Let's get this replay over with. No, we're missing
many more walls.
Russell Harrell putting some pressure on Jake Willems for that P6. We saw Russell make up a lot of position so far. Side by side with Willems into turn 16. To able to get the overtake done. This is a terrible camera angle here.
Oh, wow.
That's the SRO one. With that said, that puts Shane Dodger. We didn't talk about that. Shane Dodger in P2. This is the second podium, I think, that he's had
Yeah, he
that I've
podiumed
talked to him
last
about.
week,
So
didn't he?
yeah. So Shane's doing an awesome job getting those podiums.
Doing it for America.
He's doing it for Merca in an Italian Lambo. I think that's one of the coolest liveries on track. Whoever made that should be paid millions of dollars. With that said,
I'm guessing it was you then.
oh yeah, you know it.
Oh yeah.
Yep, definitely. Joe Allenson trying to gain his ground back up after his drive-through. He's got Agado Martinez ahead of him.
Putting him back in 14th spot.
All the way back in 14th. Not where you want to be. Ooh, speaking of which, Martinez driving off the track and is now... Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh.
Woo! Wes Jones able to get around that one unscathed, but that must have been a brown pants moment.
Tongue tickling.
With that said, every driver on track is now outside of 1 second from each other. We do
About
have
2
back markers in the
seconds.
mix. That's fine. But they're 1 second outside of their competitor. Russell Harrell is closing the gap to Will Figgins ahead. Russell's gained how many? 5 positions from where he started? So he's doing pretty good. Casey's up 7. Mason Moffitt, a driver that's new to our community, new to our series, up 11 positions from where he qualified. So qualified in 15th, now in 4th. Other drivers to note: Shadow Governor up 9, qualifying in 17th and finishing and being in 8th currently. Devin Anthony qualifying in 21st is in 12th. A lot of drivers making some major improvements on their positions. Let's hear the Lambo,
Russell
you
is
say.
catching Williams fast.
He is catching him
Catching
really
Williams.
quickly. William Figgins.
Call
Well,
him
Figgins does have that damage to the front end of his car. We do got a request for an onboard of Subi. We will do the onboard here shortly. I want to watch this battle between Figgins and Russell and see if he's able to gain that ground at all. He gained nearly a whole second in the first, sector and a half. Devin Anthony's gaining on Alan Mackey as well. So, all right, let's get that on board. Let me know if you see a battle with Russell.
Keep my eyes open.
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
Yes, sir.
As Shane comes around the final corners now, turn 16. That hill right here is turn 17, the final corner. Gonna brake hard and heavy into turn 1 just to get the car to come around. Get on the throttle as early as you can. And use a lot more track there if you wanted to. Just trying to hold his position, I'm sure. You can see that, you can feel that rear end coming out as he slides through turn 2 back there, or 3 back there, down through Lakeside Straight into turn 4. Same thing there.
Russell is now,
Russell's losing some time, it looks like.
He was side by side for a second, and he backed off a little bit.
All right, you let me know when it happens, and I'll switch right over to him. I'm switching over to him.
He just passed. They're side by side.
Oh, Figgins off track again.
Oh, that's a wall. Get her
Okay.
brake, Figgins.
All right, let's get back on
Good
with
job,
Subi
Figgins.
Dodger for the rest of his lap. As they go through turn 12. Gonna get on the throttle using all the curbs that he can to the left. Up over Clay Hill into Water Tower. Light tap on the brakes. Coast through a little bit and then throttle as early as you can on the way out of Druids. I'm braking right at that turn sign. Using all of that corner and the exit here. Turn 16.
You want to use all of that track. You paid for it. Might as
You
well
paid
use
for it?
all of it.
You're using it. With that said, all battles on track have kind of relaxed. Devin Anthony is our closest. With Alan Mackey, right when we switch to Alan, he's off track. If that's not commentator's curse, I don't know what is.
True that.
Alan Mackey has had one heck of a race, guys. You can see that frustration by the way his car is spinning around. Oh. With that said, Jake Willems, Kevin Willems' nephew, also known as brother, uncle,
Brunkle.
Yep. Is starting to gain on Russell Harrell. So I say he's gaining. He is close to Russell Harrell. Fastest laps, Russell's done a 33.897. Jake Williams is a 34.420. So depends on how consistent Russell's going to be. If he's able to stay in those 33s, Jake will end up falling off pretty quickly. We are at the last 5 minutes of the race. Everybody's taking a nap. Alan Mackey's getting yellow flags. I don't know what the yellow flag was for. He had one. It's gone now. I don't know. He's on the inside of turn 4. Being defensive to Gato Martinez. He's got severe damage to the front end of his car. Being defensive again into turn 5. Doesn't matter. Martinez is able to just run around on the outside there.
Damage coming into play, it looks like.
Yep, absolutely. Lane Yates is... okay, camera angle, thank you. Lane Yates in that Rockstar Bentley is 11.5 seconds ahead of Shane Dodger. Shane, after qualifying in P4, I believe. Yeah, P4 is up in P2 for that podium. And...
Casey's still hanging in P3. Let's go,
yeah,
Casey.
And in the 33s on time. He is extremely rapid with that McLaren. I wonder if he's... I believe he's enjoying the McLaren more than he's going to admit it, because he loves the Porsche.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he won't admit it.
But
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure when he talks about the McLaren, he talks about how much he hates it.
Poor Mackie. The car looks beat up as hell. Just like your face. Not as bad as your teeth. But you guys stop it. Didn't know I was British. Oh, my God. Stop it. Jake Woolham spinning out all alone. Getting passed by Will Figgins and Shadow Governor. Moving him down 2 positions after that spin. Mike Cortez is now on the tail of Patrick Ramos. They're going over Hilltop now.
Cortez working his way to Ramos here. Only about a second
Russell
and a half
Harrell,
down.
sorry.
2.3. No, go ahead. Russell Harrell.
Yeah, Russell Harrell had a yellow flag too. I'm seeing these yellow flags pop up from drivers that are supposed to be close to the podiums, and it's freaking me out, man. Sorry. Let's go back with Mike Cortez. Back to you, Tony Danzig.
This is Mike Cortez battling Ramos here. He pulled that up last time we talked. He was about a second down. Now he's only about a half a second off of him. Coming into Lodge corner here. And coming on out, heading towards the start-finish line. Is he making up any ground?
A little bit here and there.
Up...
Oh, my goodness, we saw that on board.
Oh, and he's
Mike Cortez slammed his brakes, turned his wheel. You know he's feeling that, too, because he's in that motion rig. So he felt the car slipping around. I like to imagine what Mike is feeling when he's driving. Just being thrown around in his motion rig.
Being tossed around like loose salad.
Shadow Governor's gaining some ground on Will Figgins. That damage has done quite a number on Will. He's doing pretty good holding his position overall. He's only down 1 from where he qualified. But, I mean, it's showing. You can definitely
played
see
it. Yeah, it's played its part. He's only got 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go. So all he's got to do is just hang on, and hopefully he doesn't lose any more positions.
Yeah, I believe he's probably going to be battling this last lap with Shadow Governor. Shadow Governor is able to gain pretty quickly. Yeah. Almost a whole second a lap faster than Will right now, if not more. With that said, P1, I think we're going to have another lap. I think we're going to have another lap after this. I didn't hear a drivers or on final lap or any of that. 1 minute left. Lane is, where are we at on time? He's 40. Yeah, we're gonna have one more lap after this for sure. So there is gonna be a battle for 6th place between Shadow Governor and Figgins. If not, the overtake done early. Looked to me like Figgins is using his flashers. He is. He's saying, "I'm slow."
I'm a slow boy.
Which tells me that Figgins is probably not battling too much. He's just saying, I want to finish the race at this point. He already got a podium. A little bit on the inside there, maybe a little bit of defense from him. He already got a podium from race 1, so we'll be talking to him about that and race 2 to hear what happened with his incident.
Governor wants that spot.
Yes, he does. With that said, P1 is crossing the start-finish line now. We're on the final lap. So each one of these drivers behind still has another lap to do. Governor closing that gap up here and there. See how we do as we go up Clay Hill. You can see how far off he is right here, but into the braking zone he gains a little bit. Ooh, and he's going to gain more on the exit. Look at that. It's going to immediately allow him to go to the inside. More or less get the overtake done prior to the final corner, but he was so narrow, just like we saw earlier. Will giving a lot of space there.
Line. Yep.
He was so narrow that he could have lost that position back to Will if Will was able to tuck in. So overtake complete, but Will still now has Jake Willems at the second and a half behind. So there still may be another battle. Maybe not if Will's going to go off track like that. Woo, I thought he was gone, or he's not.
He did get a little slippy and slidey.
That did allow Jake Willems to gain nearly a half a second, 3/4 of a second to Will Figgins. Russell Harrell's got a white flag. Joe Allenson with a yellow flag. Doesn't look like they're slow. Jake Willems
went off track.
On the outside of Will Figgins through Shell Oil's corner. Lost a good amount of time battling there.
Oh, I thought you said something else there.
I don't know what else you would have thought I said, but okay.
On that corner name?
Shell Oil's corner?
Yeah.
Our winner is Lane Yates, P1. He's 14 seconds ahead of Shane Dodger. So Shane is going to be coming across the start-finish line here shortly. There he goes, crossing the line, 6 seconds in trail. Casey Swanseeger with, I believe, his first podium of the Rookie Series in the Pro-Am split. He is first place for the Pro-Ams, I believe, as well. Unless Shane is, I don't know. Mason Moffitt will be coming, he's in 4th. He's not coming in 4th, he's already in 4th. Russell Harrell will be coming in 5th as he comes through the final corners now. Devin Anthony with a yellow flag. What's going on there? He's not lost a position. Yeah, he did to Joe Allenson. Russell Harrell's going to take 5th place. 6th, Shadow Governor. 7th, Will Figgins, Jake Willems, and then Mike Cortez. We see a back marker in the mix there.
And Patrick Ramos is going to close out your top 10. He's just coming over to the start-finish line now.
That will be our top 10 drivers for the Pro Split. Joe Allenson in the grass as he comes across the start-finish line. Devin Anthony doing a little bit of slipping and sliding in 12th place. Good race overall. We did see some bonks. It's not something we want to see, but it happens. It's just the way it is. So let's get some music going. Let's get ready for our post-race interviews with these drivers. I did ask for even the Pro-Ams to join, so hopefully we get some Pro-Ams in here too to chat with. And I know Casey will probably be a little bit late because he's got to do all this headset stuff.
He's racing in VR.
I'm just going to drag him in anyways, whether he wants to be dragged in or not.
Whether he wants it or not, he's getting dragged in here.
We're dragging some people in here. We got a lot of people being drugged in. Hi, Casey.
Hi, Casey. Hi. Good job, buddy.
You're on stream, Casey.
Wow.
So, Tony wants to talk to you about your race.
Casey? That was your first podium of the Rookie Series. 3rd place. We're happy to see you get there. How'd you feel about the race?
It's pretty cool.
me and Jeremy were talking. We were saying that you're doing pretty good in that McLaren, as much as you might not like to admit it.
Nah, I still suck.
So,
well, it was good.
Go ahead, Tony.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
I was going to say, Casey, going into Oulton Park, this is a very dangerous track, especially for GT3s. And
well, it's the best track in the game, so
I love Oulton.
Best track in the game. I'm not going to disagree
with you,
brother.
Shut up, Will.
With that said, were you worried about any lap 1, turn 1 bonks, Casey?
I'm always worried about lap 1, turn 1 bonks. and as well as turn 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12.
Yep, I think you're right.
You gotta get them all in there.
Oh yeah.
With that said, I'm gonna hand it back to you, Tony. Continue on with your interviews.
All right, let's go ahead and start with Mr. Yates pulling up P1 there. I believe you got P1 in both races, did you not?
I did manage to put myself on pole, which was a great start to it. Certainly made life a lot easier.
And
And
Bentley is menacing looking.
I appreciate it. But yeah, no, Bentley it's my favorite car in the game. It's one that I've really jived with just kind of immediately. I came out of the NSX4 and I've played around with the 992 a little bit. But the Bentley's, that's my sweetheart.
So how'd you feel about the race tonight? Feel good?
Yeah, it was a bummer to see Taraj go off there in a T5 on lap 2 of that second race. And I think he might have gotten lap 1, turn 1 bonk too. Oulton is always a tricky turn 1 just because really the entire track is tight, just as a matter of how it's designed. Yeah, it's an old school British track, and part of what comes with that is just because of the surface of it. The cars are always going to feel sketchy, and so you're having to drive it on that knife's edge and just hold it there and borderline just pray that nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, that you are.
So being able to start off a pole and or in really even within the first 2 rows makes life a lot easier. Pole and then being able to put a little bit of a gap there in the first couple laps with a couple of push laps, then you can just kind of set it on cruise control and you don't have to worry so much about the mistakes while everyone behind you is having to push to try and catch up, and they have to take those risks. So it makes life much, much easier.
Well, we love seeing you out there. Thanks for racing with us, and thanks for doing it in the Bentley, because you're the only Bentley on track, and I love that car as well.
I know. I'm hoping the success here might have us seeing some more out there.
I wouldn't count on it. All right, let's hop on over to I don't remember what position everybody finished in, which isn't great, but I know Mr. Shane Subi Dodger did pretty well.
Howdy.
Shane, your race, bud. How'd you enjoy it?
Well, race 1, turn 1, I was one of the people that got assassinated. I'm not sure what happened. It's tight quarters. Pretty much started the first race 2 laps down. I think I finished 21st. So I was pretty excited in race 2 when I made it out unscathed, and I was like Yates was saying, just had some good clean air to put down some good consistent laps and try to stay alive.
What'd you end up finishing in that second race?
I was 2nd overall.
Oh, nice. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Nice to see it in that America Lamborghini.
Yeah, I'm hoping like Yates is saying, maybe we can be a bad influence and bring some Lambos into the next season.
I've already seen a couple on track more this time than I typically do, so maybe it's catching on. I see Sean Bramer in here. Mr. Bramer, did you get a podium?
Yes.
What? Congratulations, bud. Congratulations. What'd you pick up?
I picked up a 3rd in race 2.
Nice. How'd that race go? It sounds like it went a lot better than your first race.
Yes. Turn 1 coming into turn 2 in the first race was fun. Turn 1 thing. I managed to avoid it the second and then had a really good race the whole time. Had to be a little defensive off of somebody. I'm not used to that, but it was great fun.
Hey, that's awesome. 3rd place, man. I'm glad to see you up there. I'm sure a lot of drivers are happy to see you up there. You're going to be getting some congratulations from the WR team, that's for sure.
I'm going to start moving some of you guys that have already talked with Tony out of here so we don't get confused about who we've talked with. So continue on.
I have a quick announcement.
Go ahead,
I have
Casey.
a quick announcement. Russ gets 30 seconds penalty for talking in chat.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good to me. I'm all about it. Now that we're talking about Russell. Russell, you had an interesting race too. How'd your race 1 go, bud?
It went good. I picked up some positions from some turn 1 madness, but I was really just trying to survive tonight. I didn't have a ton of practice on the track, and holy hell, you talk about being sketchy side by side. A lot of tonight was just trying not to ruin my race and trying not to ruin anyone else's while still, moving up.
Race 2, we did see you go side by side in a couple of corners where I'm like, I wouldn't go side by side there.
Yeah, we had to though. It's part of the fun. We had to.
All right. New driver. I have yet to talk to. Caitlin Puppy, you got third place. Congratulations. Tell me about your race.
It went pretty well. This is my first time ever racing in a league, and basically the third track I've ever raced on in the game ever. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I know like 2 other tracks. So coming into this, I didn't know the track before joining, and I had like 3 days to learn it. Did my best, and then P3 on my first race is really exciting. So,
Heck yeah, you got to be happy about that. I know I was surprised. Not surprised. I can't. That might sound a little bad. You're a new driver, so when I see a
Very.
new driver out on top, it's always amazing. So congratulations.
Mhm. Thank you.
Anything you would do different for next week?
The second race, don't drive into the wall.
That's a good
I
strategy
think it's a
move.
good strategy. Yeah.
That's definitely a good strategy. Let's head over to Mr. Mason. Mr. Mason, I seen you got 4th place in the first race. Did you do a little bit better there in the second?
Yes, in the second I got P2.
Oh, nice.
and-
Congratulations.
Yeah, happy about that one. But in the first race, I killed myself trying to go side by side on the outside of the Mercedes through turn 4, which does not work.
Yeah, you got to be careful about those.
Yeah, and hitting somebody that was almost sideways out of the last corner. Just didn't do very that good that race, but second race kind of kept myself out of trouble, and it just was pretty calm for me.
Well, you're putting out some pretty fast times. I wouldn't be surprised to see you move up to the Pro-Am split here very shortly. So good
Yeah.
job, man. You're impressing us out there. We like to see it. Thank you so much.
You too.
Why not hop over to Mr. Wolf Figgins? I know he's got a lot to say. Race 2, he definitely had some damage going on there. Will, tell me about your night tonight. Race 1 must have been better. Race 2, let's talk about it as well.
I think you need to take an English class first of all, Tony. But
Yeah, that's true.
first race wasn't bad at all. Of course, I qualified P5. First corner, I picked up like maybe 5 seconds of damage. Nothing major, just a couple bonks. But I got into P2 after I think it was turn 2 or 3, and just ran away with it on the first race. But second race, I got up to P2 again, but I then crashed into a wall, and that was pretty much over from there. Got 25 seconds front end damage, but I'm not too worried about
Yeah,
it.
we were watching your race there, and we could tell that you were losing positions typically where you wouldn't be, just because it looked like you had a lot of damage. So 25 seconds is not anything to wave a stick at.
No suspension damage though.
Oh, that's good. You gonna bring anything different in the next week?
Some skill maybe at some point. That'd be nice.
Yeah, put some of that in your back pocket. That might be good. All right, thanks for being here with us, Will. Mr. Cook, Mr. Mike Cook. How's it going, brother?
Hold me closer, Tony Danzig.
That's right. That is right. Your race. Tell me about it. Fun? You have fun tonight?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the most important
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it was a good time. 5th place, first race. Finished second in the second race. Brown was gone. Didn't see him anywhere. The story of tonight's race for me was just survival, and people just kept, self-deleting themselves, and I ended up the beneficiary of that in second place.
We did see a lot of self-deletions today, self-bonkins tonight. Things were happening outside, which was good, because it wasn't as many people running into each other, but man, that grass is not something to play around with.
Yeah, that's where I stayed. I stayed off the grass and stayed consistent, and that's how I ended up with the night.
Consistency is key when racing, especially in ACC. That and tire pressures.
Yep, definitely. Thanks for putting this on, guys, noobs. It's great stuff, and keep going with it.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. We always enjoy having everybody out on track. We appreciate your battle and putting in the time to, allow us to have a good time watching. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Have a good night, guys.
You as well, bud. Mr. Mackey, how you doing there, fella? Tell me about your race tonight. Tell me about all the good stuff, all the bad stuff. What kept you excited? Where were you? Did you have any shoot moments?
Yeah, plenty of those in race 2, but race 1 was great. I think I finished in second from a split.
Nice. Gotta love a podium spot.
Yeah.
Any big takeaways from today?
Like everyone else said, stand on the wall. I think I've did not finish race 2 with my steering wheel straight, so. But I didn't hit anyone, so that's a plus.
Oh, it's definitely a plus. Definitely a plus not hitting anybody. That's probably in the best position, even if you have an off track. Let's hope not to hit anybody, ruin someone else's race.
Yeah, but race 1 was great. Just wish I did that twice instead of just once.
Well, you always got next week as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time today. Thank you for being here today. Thanks for racing with us today. I'm going to bring it up to our last contestant here, Mr. Martinez. How you doing, brother?
How are you?
I'm doing good. Tell us about your race.
You could spit it out in Spanish if you want to.
Well,
yeah, say it in Spanish if you like.
¿En Spanish?
However you want to do it.
Bueno, primero la quali fue un desastre, porque, bueno, primero un circuito que no me gusta demasiado, pero, bueno, hice al final la posición 16 y, bueno, pude remontar en la primera carrera hasta la posición 5 y, bueno, también porque muchos compañeros pues se salieron, hubo algunos accidentes de los cuales me aproveché y pude quedar en posición quinta y tercero de los Pro AMs. Y bueno, en la segunda carrera, pues bueno, iba del mismo estilo, remontando, pero pisé un poquito la hierba, me crucé, tuve la suerte de no romper el coche y bueno, perdí demasiado tiempo y quedé, no sé si he quedado el 12 de la general, no lo sé, no sé exactamente. Pero bueno.
Second place.
I heard 16th, I heard 7th place, I heard 5th place. So there was a lot of different position changes, it sounded like. But overall, seemed like a good race. Your second race, lots of bonks that we saw, ended up getting into a couple of bonks. But overall, it was still fun to watch. Thank you for being here, Mr. Martinez. Nico is here. Nico, hello.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Nico with the translations.
Go ahead.
What happened?
Yeah, I put up the translations in the chat.
What did you say? He says, Paulie was a disaster. He doesn't like the track. He started P16, like I said. Made a comeback, race 1 to P5, like I'd said. Because of accidents he took advantage of. And P3 for the Pro-Ams. Same stuff for race 2. Coming back, touch grass, spun too much time, and finished P12. So, yeah, I caught some of it. I'm not dumb. I'm just stupid, okay?
Very good translation.
Gracias, Nico, for the translation.
Well, gentlemen, it was our pleasure watching you guys race tonight. We appreciate you guys joining us here in the booth. I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Jeremy Cubbage here, who was already talking. Jeremy?
Yeah, let's close it out. Next week, we're going to be at Laguna Seca. It's going to be a much bigger racetrack, a lot more room for mistakes. Obviously, there's some parts on this track that you can get into some major incidents. So hopefully we don't see any corkscrew crashes or whatever that little dip is prior to the corkscrew crashes. But I'm looking forward to next week. I'm looking forward to the finale already. I'm looking forward to the secret announcement that hopefully we're able to spit out by the end of the week. So a lot of stuff coming up. With all of that said, I'm going to send off 3 wide in the corkscrew. How about not? I'm going to send a raid off to, it looks like a PlayStation player playing ACC at Watkins Glen. So let's go say hi to them.
He would be at Watkins Glen.
Will in chat, also in voice, saying Jeremy is dumb. So that's good news. Thank you, Will.
It's been confirmed. The internet doesn't lie.
He just unmutes and then mutes back up. Okay. Bye, Will. Can't even talk, poor guy. With all of that said, let's send this raid off. Let's go say hi to Caden W7 and really screw up his whatever he's doing. I guess it's a race. Maybe it's he's racing in seventh place. So let's go screw him up by chatting with him. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you all on Sunday for the GT4s.
Bye, everybody.